Here we go. Got the script, and I'm ready to go. This is the first time that the IndyCar Series is on Fox Sports instead of ABC, and I'm pretty excited for this one. So, let's do the race recap review, shall we? Greetings, IndyCar enjoyers, and welcome to the first race of the IndyCar Series season. This is also the first time the IndyCar Series started airing on Fox Sports, and Fox was hyping it up like crazy with 3 Super Bowl ads and spending a lot of money on advertising. This got people excited about the IndyCar Series itself. Yeah, like, I haven't heard this much excitement about the IndyCar Series itself since, well, the Champ Car days and the Indy Racing League days. So having it on a new network is a big deal. Looks like NASCAR is in trouble this year, especially if IndyCar reusing the same theme as it's now on Fox Sports instead of ABC, so no more of that do-do-do-do. So instead we now got do-do-do-do. Yeah, the same theme that Fox Sports uses for NASCAR. The race begins with Scotty Mack taking the lead. We get our first caution with a huge wreck on the first corner. Yes, the first and only caution of the race, by the way. Because the IndyCar Series has no stage races, it means we can watch the race without it being interrupted. Will Power, aka the IndyCar equivalent of AJ Allmendinger, yeah, I know AJ Allmendinger is an American and Will Power's an Australian, but both raced in the Champ Car World Series and they were both well-known open-wheel drivers there. And they both had, well, they're both in the similar age range, so yeah, both are Champ Car veterans, but they're in different series and they have different nationalities. Yeah, Will Power also ended up in that wreck and is now out of the race itself. The pit road opens and we get our first set of pit stops of the day, with both of our top stars, Joseph Newgarden and Alex Palou, stopping in. The caution ends with Scotty Mack, that's Scott McLaughlin by the way, hanging on to first place and blocking Rosenquist's passing attempt. Yeah, reminiscent of, well, Christopher Bell trying to block William Byron. But we'll get to that. Well, trying to block William Byron's passing attempt. We'll get to that race soon. He might have used the push to pass button there. Felix's teammate is in third. Kyle Kirkwood also passed Rinus VK for 14th. Scotty Mack makes up a significant lead gap on lap 11. This is also reminiscent of another Kiwi in a different series that I will get to in the next race review. And similar to that race, the Kiwi doesn't win. On lap 15, Scotty Mack's lead gap starts to shrink with Felix getting closer and closer. Scotty must have known this as he starts to gain his lead gap again. Meanwhile, one of the Prima racing cars is currently in 10th, which is impressive for a team that just entered the IndyCar Series this year. And next year, hopefully, they'll enter another open-wheel series, or they might be aiming for NASCAR and getting Chevy bodies. So yeah, first Formula 2, now IndyCar, now NASCAR. It's a natural progression. Pato O'Ward decided to pit in for fresh tires while Scotty Mack continued to increase his lead gap. Our YouTube star, David Malukas, is currently running in 6th. Yeah, he's a good driver. And I'm subscribed to my channel, by the way. Huge fan of him. He's an amazing guy. Also, we get to see the new, for 2025, hybrid system put to good use with Christian Lundgaard, that's the new McLaren driver, by the way, as Alexander Rossi left to join Ed Carpenter Racing, starting to use it. Yano was introduced in 2024. Well, it was introduced in last year's Iowa race, but it was introduced late into the season, and it's still a new feature. Felix gives up second place when he decides to stop for fresh tires, and that means his teammate Marcus Armstrong is now in second. Even Scotty Mack decides to pit in to get the racing softs. Yeah, I call them racing softs because of Gran Turismo terminology. And IndyCar has different tire compounds. And now NASCAR is trying out the option in prime tires. So yeah, what goes around comes around. Marcus Armstrong is now leading the race. Christian Lundgaard stops in to get racing hards. That's hard compounds, by the way. Marcus Armstrong eventually decided to pit in, and we now have Colton Herta leading the race. This is to be expected with any race, and he also gives up the lead to stop in for fresh rubber. The most exciting thing about any IndyCar Series race is seeing the drivers give up the lead to pit in. This means that anyone can take the lead. Also, Colton's pit crew has issues on pit road as one of the tire changers has trouble trying to put on the left rear. Joseph Newgarden is now in the lead until he too gives up the lead when he stops in for fresh rubber, and he has a bit of a trouble trying to get out. Scott Dixon starts leading until, yep, you guessed it, he stops in for fresh rubber. Scotty Mack starts leading again. We have Colton Herta overtaking Alex Palou for 11th. Marcus pits in early, and his pit crew takes a look at the tow link. Even with Connor Daly losing his sponsor, he still passed Marcus Armstrong for 17th. And Marcus Armstrong is also starting to have wheel issues. Because Scotty Mack pitted in, Christian Lundgaard is now a race leader. Once the racing softs start wearing out, more drivers start pitting in, but Christian Lundgaard stays out. Marcus Armstrong's issues still persist, and his mechanical gremlins are so bad that he's forced to retire from the race itself. But anyways, we have Christian Lundgaard leading and a former McLaren driver in second. Oh, and Scott Dixon's also in third. He too wants to win this race, but anyways, Connor Daly moves up to 13th, which is amazing for his first full-time season in the IndyCar Series itself. Scott Dixon has Joseph Newgarden catching up to him, and Joseph won last year's race, but Tim Cindric got himself into some hot water with the push to pass controversy that we all know about, which is why he got his wins taken away from him. Yeah, even Roger Penske himself doesn't want his own team cheating. Glad to know that he wants to keep things fair for all teams. Christian Lundgaard keeps hanging on to his lead, while Alexander Rossi decides to pit in. Scott Dixon is now in second and charging ahead. Christian Lundgaard gives up the lead as he stops for fresh tires. Newgarden and Dixon both decide to pit in and give up their track positions to Scotty Mack and Felix, respectively. Scotty Mack pits in and gives up the lead to Felix. He soon gives up the lead to Alex Palou. While those pit stops are going on, Joseph soon's past Scott Dixon while trying to figure out the tire temperature. Yeah, Scott Dixon was trying to figure out the tire temperature and ended up getting passed by Joseph Newgarden. And everything seems to be going fine. With 20 to go, Alex Palou continues to lead. Pato Ward, despite being unlucky in the early stages of the race, jumped up to 6th. Joseph is catching up to our champion Alex Palou with 11 to go, but the question is, will he be able to pass him? Because of Stingray Rob, Scott Dixon started coming in closer to both Joseph and Alex. Alex Palou finally gets past Stingray Rob, and Joseph also got past him. Yeah, I thought Stingray Rob was going to give him a hard time, but he doesn't. Alex started gaining his lead gap while dealing with Joseph Newgarden, who kept trying to pester the Spaniard himself. Alex Palou gains a 2-second lead gap while Scott Dixon gets past Joseph Newgarden, and we get our impressive 1-2 finish. Excellent work for both Ganassi drivers, and an impressive victory for last year's champions. So yeah, a great start to a new era. This race gets a 9 out of 10, with the highlight being the Chip Ganassi 1-2 finish. This race was exciting to watch, although we have the Firmo Club racing coming up next, and David Malukas is not a fan of that track. Although it's not nearly as bad as Detroit, because Detroit has really bad road quality. And it's pretty much gives the home state of the Loud family a bad name, considering that Michigan is actually a pretty good state. They're the home of Motor City and Michigan International Speedway. Yeah, which is insane. They should just definitely go back to the Michigan Oval. I mean, come on. The Detroit track is not even that great. Why don't they just go back to the Michigan Oval? I mean, IndyCars had races at Michigan before, so they should just return. But anyways, I'm on to the Coda race review, which I had to delay for a whole day because of this race review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, just in case if you haven't already done so. All I have to say is, catch you guys next time and peace out.